Hi, this is Sofie with a quick message. I am touring my new show in the UK and Denmark. Starting in October 2016, I will be visiting Newport, Newcastle, Frome, Selby, Wrexham, Leamington Spa, Harlow, Crawley, Aberdeen, Elgin, Lincoln, Aylesbury, Bristol, Brighton, Guildford, Maidenhead, Oxford, Liverpool, London, Copenhagen, Aarhus, Odense and Aalborg. Tickets and more information on sofiehagen.com. I can't wait to see you all there.
Any questions about promiscuity, about feminism, about anything at all?
Not like, factual. It's not, we don't know.
No. Any questions? It would be useful if you had a question, because all the English audiences have had them. Yes, there's one there and one there. That lady I was making eyes with in the front row also has a question, and I think I know what it is. And the answer is yes. I would love to go for a drink with you.
Oh, that was so innocent.
What? Go for a drink with me? Well, I wasn't going to say come backstage like she's some groupie and,
But if she is, that's also okay. She wouldn't be the first in this room.
You're chasing her off. She was going to go for a drink with me. Now she's scared.
I want you to myself, Deborah. We're going to talk about promiscuity. It's such a tricky one, this, because I feel like saying slut making a joke about the word slut. I say, oh, am I a slut? But it's a bad word. It's used to shame women for having a lot of sex. And then there's another group of feminists that are reclaiming the word, calling themselves, owning it.
Yeah, like slut walk or...
Yeah, the slut walk.
It's confusing language, and you don't want to trip it up and say the wrong thing, because your values are such that what you'd be saying is coming from a good place, which is people can sleep with whoever they want to, whenever they want to.
Yeah.
And if they're feeling good about it, and
however
they're feeling safe, then we're all about it. But
all about it.
And we're also about people who only want to have sex when they really love somebody, and that's amazing as well.
Oh, and asexual people who never want to have sex. So speaking of challenges for promiscuity, because it takes two to tango.
My
first thought was,
I'm
gonna sleep with someone, and that's gonna be my challenge. But that is not how sex works.
I can't sleep with someone for a comedy podcast challenge. That poor person with their feelings. What are you going to say in the morning? Hashtag comedy podcast.
Hashtag Guilty Feminist. Go check out how I felt about this intercourse.
Exactly.
On guiltyfeminist.com. Give us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed this intercourse with me.
And just to say to all of Sophie's lovers, they can give as many stars as they like. They don't have to give 5 stars.
I mean, you know what?
Just rate the sex as you found it.
You know what? In this case, yeah. Because I know what they've been through, and they're allowed to do whatever they want. So I said, when we were talking about this, I just said out loud, I said, I've slept with a lot of people. But then I went through the list in my head, and I don't know where I got a lot of people from. Well, the last time I remember talking about this with anyone was when we were 16, and we were all going, oh, I slept with 2 people. Oh my God, I slept with the half a person. I've slept with... And now you don't really say that out loud anymore because we're adults and it doesn't matter. But what I want to find out is how people feel about that number. If I count and then I find out how many I've actually slept with. And I wanted to talk to people about it. Not close friends, because I already know their opinions, they know me. But people I'm acquainted with. All strangers in an appropriate situation. I'm not going to run into someone in the street and go, hey, I slept with 18 people. What do you feel about that?
How do you feel about that? 12-year-old boy in the park.
I think that's illegal. So I want to hear people's opinions about this.
How do you feel about that, Grandma?
Oh my God, that's an amazing idea.
What?
Because I'm visiting my grandmother in 2 weeks.
Will she find that an amazing idea? If you ask her, hey, I've slept with 17 people, what do you think?
Yeah, that would be amazing. So I think my grandmother was a bit of a wild one in her youth, and I would love to talk to her about how she feels about my 17 people. If it is 17, I need to recount it. I'd like to find out how people react, because in my head I think they would think it was a lot of people, but I don't know, maybe people will react. And if anything, I think it's healthy to say out loud, hey, I have sex, I've had one-night stands, I've slept with people. I've only had 3 or 4 boyfriends, so not all those 17 people have been boyfriends. So that's what I'm gonna investigate.
We've done the maths there. if you've only had 3 or 4 boyfriends, then the remaining 13 to 14.
I don't know, but some of them have had sex several times. Some of them it's not necessarily one night stands.
No. But there's something between boyfriend and one night stand as well. A lot, isn't there? Someone you're having a fling with.
Yeah.
Someone you're having a delightful time with somebody, but you're not necessarily committed to them.
To finding out what their name is.
You're not committed to things like, hey, what's your surname? Or so
what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to have to ask my husband about the Promiscuity Challenge.
Yes.
Because I've been married for a while, so it's hard for me to know. For the dating challenge, it was his idea for us
he was so good. He was
very
so good.
Sweet about it. So I'm going to get his suggestion and work with him through the Promiscuity Challenge. Because you can't just go and be promiscuous and then say, hey, honey, it was for a Promiscuity Challenge. Although if anyone would understand, it would be Selinsky. He's very understanding about these things.
He's our producer. He will know.
And he puts the podcast first.
Yes, and I think that's good.
Yeah. So he may well say, take a week to say whether it's for the good of the podcast. But in case he doesn't say that, listeners, in case he doesn't say that, we'll get back with some other kind of challenge.
Yeah, figure out something about... Yeah. I think that's good. I think it's I hope this won't offend anyone. I mean, it's a tricky topic. It's a sensitive topic. A lot of women feel shamed for a lot of the sex they've had. But I think we're going about this in a nice way.
We will play very gently in this and sensitively in this space. And this is personal to us. This is not we're not extending this to all of womankind. But we are, through our personal experience, hopefully we'll find something that's universal.
I lost my virginity to a guy who then also lost his virginity. We lost our virginity to each other. And I remember, so we had both had sex once. And I remember when our friends, like mutual friends and classmates, found out, he was a hero and I was like disgraced. And I was 16. I remember that feeling of, oh, now I'm not as good anymore. Where he was like, oh, well, good on him. Yeah, he made it. So this is, I'm so excited about this. I'm excited about this challenge.
Good.
And if anyone else want to share their lists of people or their experiences or their feelings about this topic, tweet us at GuiltFemPod or go to our Facebook group, the Guilty Feminist Podcast, or just go and download some more episodes and get some tickets for the live shows at guiltyfeminist.com.
We'd love to see you there.
We love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.